Hello everyone, how are you? Hope you are feeling fine. Welcome to the presentation on the usage of prepositions, lecture 1. In this presentation, I will mainly focus on the prepositions of place only. Our first slide is about the usage of at and in. Both at and in are used before the places. But when we are to use at and when in? Let's see. We can be at home, at work, at the office, at school, at university, at an address, and at certain points, for example at the bridge, at the crossroads, and at the bus stop. Again, we can be in a country, a town, a village, a square, a street, a room, a forest, a wood, a field, a desert, or any place which has boundaries or is enclosed. At and in both can be used before certain places, but with different meanings. Let's see. A small area such as a square, a street, a room, a field might be used with at when we mean at the point rather than inside. That is, a square, a street, a room, a field. Before this small area, at can be used when we want to mean a particular point. But if we want to mean inside a square, a street, a room or field, in is used. We can be in or at a building. In means inside only. At could mean inside or in the grounds or just outside. If someone is at the station, he could be in the street outside or in the ticket office or in the waiting room or in the restaurant or on the platform. We can be in or at the sea, a river, lake, swimming pool, etc. In here means actually in the water. Here we find an example. The children are swimming in the river. At the sea, river or lake means near or beside the sea, river or lake. But at sea means on the ship. In this slide we find the usage of preposition on. On is used to show that something is in a position above something else and touching it. The book is on the table. Here the book is touching the table. Again, on means next to or along the side of. Here we find an example. Rajshahi is on the Padma. This means Rajshahi is on the along the side of the Padma. In this slide we find the usage of and the difference between on, above and over. Above and over both mean higher than somebody or something without touching. Here we find an example. The ball is going over or above the hurdle. The ball is not touching the hurdle. On and over both mean in or into a position, covering, touching or forming part of a surface. Here we find the book on the table and the book is touching the table. The book is a part of the surface of the table. So on is not possible here. We cannot say that the ball is passing or the ball is going on the hurdle. Again, above is not possible here. We cannot say that the book is above the table, but over can be possible in both the cases. We can say the book is over the table, and we can say the ball is going over the hurdle. In this slide we find the uses of and difference between in and into. In normally indicates position inside something. Into indicates movement or entrance. Here we find two examples. There are two goldfish in the white glass. Two goldfish inside the glass. The balls are going into the blue glass. That is, we find the entrance of the balls inside the blue glass. In this slide we find the uses of preposition under. Under means in, to, or through a position that is below something. The mango is under the tree. Here the mango is under the tree. The mango is below the tree, and there is a space between the tree and the mango. The mango is not touching the tree. Again, under means below the surface of something, covered by something. The pen is under the book. The pen is under the book. The pen is touching the surface of the book, and the pen is covered by the book. In this slide we find the uses of and the difference between below and beneath. Below means at or to a lower level or position than somebody or something without touching. Here we find an example. Please sign below the line, and here we find a signature. The signature is not touching the line. There is a gap or a space between the line and the signature. Beneath is used to mean in or to a lower position than somebody or something, under somebody, something. That is, beneath can be used in a state of under and below. Beneath is particularly common when talking about the ground or surface directly under one's feet. Here we find an example. She could feel the train coming because the ground beneath her feet was moving. Now we can find the difference between under, below and beneath. Under indicates contact, and below indicates a space between two surfaces. Under has another meaning. Under can mean below the surface of something, that is covered with something. Again, under can mean in, to, or through a position that is below something. But below means there must be a space between the two surfaces. and under can be used in both the cases, and beneath can be used both in a state of under and below. In this slide we find the uses of between. Between normally relates a person or thing to two other people or things. The ball is between two glasses. Here we find two glasses, two things, and one person or thing, that is the ball, is related to two other glasses. The ball is between two glasses. But it can be used of more when we have a definite number in mind. We find an example here. Luxembourg lies between Belgium, Germany and France. Here Luxembourg lies between Belgium, Germany and France. Three definite countries. Again, between is used to show a connection or relationship, a difference, distinction, contrast between two things. I had to choose one between the two balls. I liked the red ball between the two. So there is a contrast between two balls, and I had to choose one between the two balls, and I choose the red one. In this slide we find the uses of among. Among relates a person, thing to more than two others. Normally we have no definite number in mind. We find two examples here. He was happy to be among friends again. Friends, no definite number is mentioned here. There's a ball among the cups. A ball among the cups, no definite number is mentioned. In this slide we find the uses of and the difference between, beside, between, behind, in front of and opposite. Here we find two rows of seats. This is the front side, and we can explain in this way. A is beside B, B is beside C, D is beside E, and E is beside F. B is between A and C, E is between D and F. A is in front of D, B is in front of E, and C is in front of F. D is behind A, E is behind B, F is behind C. And if A and B are sitting at the dining table, then we can explain in this way. We cannot say that B is in front of A or A is in front of B. Rather we should say B is opposite to A and A is opposite to B, or we can say A is facing B or B is facing A. And one thing, next to, near and by can be used in a state of beside. That's all today, my dear students. Thank you. Stay home, Stay safe.